Hello everyone, my name is Vicky Styles, and the movie I'm here to talk about today is titled Lightyear. Now I know this movie has already been released. I'm just here to give you a kind of movie review and spoiler for those of you who haven't watched the movie yet. So by the time we get back, I'm going to be telling you a bit about the movie, like the cast and some certain things that you will definitely see in this movie. So just stay to the end of the movie for you to get my overall review of this movie. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it by the time you're done watching. Please stay subscribed to this channel by clicking the bell notification beside the subscribe button, and this will enable you to get notified anytime I am uploading a new video to this channel. This is because I do a lot of movie discussions and movie reviews, so if you're interested in movies, then this channel is definitely the best for you. So please stay connected to this channel and click the subscribe button. Lightyear is a Disney animation movie. Of course, it was made by Disney and Pixar Animation Studios, and this movie happens to be the fifth overall installment of the Toy Story franchise. In fact, it is a prequel to the entire franchise, although this one actually focuses on Buzz Lightyear rather than, Woody and the rest. So this is, like I said, it's the fifth overall installment of the franchise, and this one was directed by Angus MacLane. The cast of this movie includes Chris Evans, who is voicing the main character Buzz Lightyear. Now the second person is Keke Palmer, the third person Peter Sohn, and the fourth person Taika Waititii, who is the director of the Toy franchise. Now these are the notable cast that I can mention for now, because I have other things to talk about. But since its 17th June release, since then it has managed to gross more than $130 million in the box office, I think globally. So I think this shows that at least it did a good job internationally in cinemas. But now it's time for us to get a review of this movie, since it is now available on digital streaming platforms. We're gonna start from the beginning, obviously. Now, the beginning of this movie actually confirms that the movie is a prequel to the entire Toy Story series, by stating that it was the favorite movie of the owner of Woody and the other toys. So it actually confirms it that this is the origin story of Buzz Lightyear, and this is why he has that robot as his enemy. So apart from that, the fact that this movie follows 3D animation just like that of the entire Toy Story series is also fantastic. It shows that they really put in a lot of continuity into this project, so that's good. And the story also starts well, but within a few moments everything just goes sour and they get stuck on that planet. It was kind of amazing seeing that humans could adapt to living on a planet that they knew absolutely nothing about. I don't actually know what they would have called that planet, but based on the fact that the humans there could breathe oxygen for whatever reason, it So I think that was what allowed them to, easily adapt to living in such a new planet that obviously had some certain, living things that for now scientists basically don't just have names for. Anyways, it's the next thing I will give them credit for is their theory of hyperspeed and time travel in general. It's time travel is kind of a thing that only few people can guess it right, and only few people have adapted theories to. But in their own situation, they put it to us that the faster Buzz went in terms of hyperspeed is the more he went further in time. So if he could only achieve 60% hyperspeed, it means that he could only go 60% into the future. And if he could achieve full hyperspeed, then went so far into the future, like 22 years and something months and something years. So I just like their concept of this hyperspeed and its relationship to time. It was very, very, mind-blowing and very interesting to hear. But I have a problem with their, LGBTQ relationship. I just don't think that it was right for them to put in, same-sex relationship in a cartoon. Naturally, I don't even appreciate same-sex relationships, but putting it in a cartoon, I just don't think children should be introduced to such a thing at an early age. So I just don't approve of that. A funny thing about this movie is that of the narrations given by Buzz. I don't know, he tries to fulfill all righteousness by narrating into his suit. But based on, if you listen to the lines delivered, you realize that nobody actually listens to those things, and maybe he's just trying to fulfill all righteousness, which is still funny. But generally, the way he narrates to himself, causes a lot of funny scenes in this movie. Now, based on how they designed the machines, most of those machines in this movie aren't actually in real life. And even if they are in real life, it's not something that are easy to draw or easy to, get into animation form. So the fact that they were able to design these machines in animation form, then I kind of like want to give them credit for that. In fact, I even give them a lot of credit for the fantastic designs of machines. Another funny thing about this movie is the part where Buzz thought that that his friend's granddaughter, our daughter, whatever, that when he thought that she was actually a trained space ranger. She and her friends, definitely, for those of you who have watched it, you know that they weren't trained. They were just ambitious to be space rangers. But it's funny how he just concluded that they were space rangers just because they were trying to fight the so-called robots. And it's it really gave him the shock of his life when he realized that he was just working with a bunch of amateurs or ambitious people. Now, there's something that I need to question, especially about that sandwich part where the bread is inside but the meat is outside. That is totally new and questionable how that makes sense, but anyways, it's just a cartoon, so let's just forget about that. Now, let's go back to the narrating part. if you, for those of you who have watched the movie before, you may remember that scene where Buzz was getting chased by that big robot, and can you imagine how stupid he was actually narrating out loud while getting chased by a robot? It doesn't make sense at all, because if you are as little as Buzz and you're being chased by something as big as that, the best thing for you to do, to me, is to keep silent and just keep running. But the guy was just doing his normal narrating, and for whatever reason, I don't know whether he just wants to fulfill all righteousness. One last strange thing about this movie is that it's very surprising that the main villain of this story is actually Buzz Lightyear. And even though it makes sense if you reason it from a certain point of view, but it was so much suspense when it ends up that the main character of the story is at the same time the villain of the story. And this is something that I myself, as a writer, I have tried my best to achieve, but these kind of ideas don't just come on a normal day. So I'm giving them credit for having such a brilliant idea and coming up with it and making sure that it actually ends up on TV. And also, another thing that I give them credit for is the AI technology of that robot. Remember the time when the hand got cut off, and within some minutes it went back and reattached itself to the full body of the robot? That was real AI function, and even though it hasn't been figured out in real life, but scientists are hoping that one day they could get technology up to that extent. So to me, the major themes of this movie is 1. Determination, 2. Hard work, 3. Believe in yourself, 4. Teamwork, and definitely you need to be a little bit friendly in order to achieve those things. So I think friendship is the last theme of this movie. Now, my general review, my general rank of this movie, I give it a 6 out of 10. The reason why I'm doing this, because, well, like I said earlier, I don't approve of LGBTQ relationship in any cartoon whatsoever. So the fact that they had to put this thing in a cartoon, it's to me, it's not nice at all. So I don't like that particular scene, and because of those particular scenes, I just don't approve of this movie for any child at all. Even if you have to put gay scenes inside a movie, I just don't think you should put it in a child's face. At least let them reach a certain age of adulthood before they can now choose if they want to if they want to be gays or if they want to be straight. But you can't just show children those kind of things. So I am giving this movie a 6 out of 10. That's all I have to say about this movie. So if you want more movie reviews or thriller reviews or movie discussions, then stay subscribed to this channel by clicking the subscribe button and the bell notifications beside it. Please like this video, make your comments about your own review of the movie, and I will definitely give you a reply if I deem it necessary. And as well, if you make your comments, it will be shown in my next video. So that will just be an indirect shout out to you. So thank you for watching this video. Please stay subscribed to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.